Hello, I'm Dr. Hassaan Tohid with a very important topic. Today we will talk about how to say no. One of the most difficult things or one of the most difficult challenges or one of the most difficult tasks that could be given to anyone is how to say no. Yes, we all want to say no to so many things in our lives. We want to say no to so many people in our lives, but unfortunately, we don't have courage to say no. We just cannot say no. The reason is, first of all, we need to understand the reason and the logic behind it. Only then we will be able to control this desire to say yes all the time. Yes, you cannot be a yes man all the time. You cannot say yes all the time. You have to say no, and you have to learn to say no, and you have to take other people's reaction. Yes, some people will be upset when you start saying no to them, but this is going to change your whole life. Now let's talk about this. So the problem is, why are we yes man? Why we cannot say no? The reason is we are people pleaser. Yes, we have learned to please people. We have learned to make people happy. That's the main issue. And that's why we cannot say no. Let me give you an example. Sometimes it happens that you are sitting and just studying, or you are busy at work or something, and somebody calls you, a friend calls you and says, hey, this weekend we have a plan. We have a friends night, and we will watch movie, and we will have fun. We will go to a restaurant and XYZ. And you have an exam coming up, and you just say, I'll see, I'll let you know, and I'm not sure because I have an exam coming up, but I'll try my best. No, that's not how you handle it. We all face these kind of situations. We receive a phone call from people we don't want to hurt, we don't want to say no to, but we will have to learn to say no. Only say yes if you have time. You are free from every other task. If you have no other tasks left, first of all, it all starts with goal setting and self esteem. So that's the main thing I want to talk about. People who are always people pleaser and who always say yes to everyone, they actually have no mission in life. They don't have any goals in life. They don't have any purpose in life. They think that we are here forever, subconsciously. But the reality is, we are not here forever. We are here for a limited time. We are here for a limited time frame. And we must accomplish certain tasks. We must accomplish certain goals in our lives. We all have to accomplish certain goals, and we will talk about that in goal setting video. That why do we need goals? Why it is important to set goals? We will talk about that. I don't want to talk about it right now, but what I want to talk about is that the reason we do not say no is we don't have any goals in life. So you have to set goals with deadlines so that if somebody calls you, you can say no. And that goal should be the most important thing in your life. That should be the most important priority in your life. Until and unless you learn to develop the mindset of writing goals down, setting goals, you will not be able to say no. So that's very important. We need to learn to say no. And it all starts with setting goals, that we have priorities in our lives. We have other tasks, we have other responsibilities. And if we set priorities, we will be able to say no. And we will be able to say yes to certain things. Yes, if the thing or any task, any phone call is related to your goals, you say yes. It's related to your priorities, you say yes. And if it doesn't affect your priorities and your goals, then you say yes. Otherwise, you just say no. The second reason we don't say no, or we cannot say no, is because we are people pleaser, and people pleasing comes because of low self-esteem. In your childhood, you may have felt something really terrible. You may have faced some mental abuse, some physical abuse, some kind of abuse in your life, and that abuse is still haunting you, and you started to feel bad about yourself. And you never learned how self esteem is done. What is high self esteem? You never learned what is self esteem. So that's why when you didn't learn self esteem, you didn't understand self esteem, you never worked towards your self esteem. So the first thing first is to start learning what is self esteem. Self esteem is, how do we feel about ourselves? What do we feel about ourselves? So we need to feel about ourselves in a positive way. We need to think positive about ourselves. We need to think good about ourselves. So first of all, start working on these two things. Start working on your goals. You should have goal setting in your life. You should not live a life without goals. Otherwise, your life is like a ship without a rudder. A ship without a rudder can go anywhere. But if you have predetermined destination, a predetermined target, you know where to go. You know what your goal is. You know what your target is. You know what your destination is. You will not be lost. You will live a planned life. And if you see the difference between people who live planned life and those who live unplanned life, there's a humongous difference between those two people. People who live a planned life, they live a happy life, they live a healthy life, they live an accomplished life, they live a life with great self-esteem, great confidence. Yes, goal setting also increases your self-esteem because you are living a predetermined life. You are not living your life on autopilot. Remember, life is like a painting. The life is like a painting. So what does the painter do? If you see a painter, he paints, draws a painting with the brush in his hand, and he draws a wonderful painting. But what will happen if this painter leaves this painting and this brush on autopilot? Let's say he leaves it on autopilot. Do you think he will be able to draw a wonderful painting? No. The same thing with us. We cannot live our life without planning. We cannot leave the life on autopilot. Most people have left their lives on autopilot. They are just living without any plan. They wake up because the morning alarm of their mind is off. Now they have to wake up because they further cannot sleep more. They cannot sleep more. Their body is tired of sleeping. Now they will do breakfast and they watch TV, and if they want to work, they have any job. If these people have any kind of job, they will go to a job, but they don't know why we are going to a job. They don't know why they are going to a job. They just go there to make money, and they think that everyone goes for a job. Everyone has a job. Everyone goes to a job, works, and comes back home, and then spends time with family, eats, and sleep. And the next day he wakes up again and he goes to work again. And they think this is how the life is. You don't want to live this kind of life. You want to live a pre-planned life. You don't want to live a life on autopilot. Like the same person, how will this person spend his weekend? He will wake up late, will do breakfast, and now he doesn't know what to do. So he'll watch TV all day long, watch sports or a movie all day long. He has no plan, no idea what to do, no plan for future, nothing in mind. So he's just watching TV and now just wasting time. And once it's close to 6 or 7 p.m., now he'll call his friends and say, hey, let's hang out. And he will go hang out with friends and come back again. And he will say, oh, what a day. I had a busy day. I spent time with my friends, and now it's time to sleep. And this guy sleeps. He wakes up again Sunday morning, does the same thing again. But this time he doesn't have friends, so he gets depressed. Then what do I do? I'm so bored. If you have time to get bored, that means you don't have goals in your life. You don't have mission in your life. You don't have any purpose in your life. So that's the problem. When we have no goals, no mission in life, we are living on autopilot. We reduce our self-esteem. Our subconscious mind gives us a message that you are worthless. You are wasting time. Your subconscious mind, or in a different way, I can say that your subconscious mind will say that, wow, this person just is a useless person. He wastes a lot of time. So we need to make sure that our life is pre-planned. Our life is written on a piece of paper, in a journal. We write down our goals. We write down our tasks. We write down what do we need to accomplish by the end of the year. Otherwise, we are living like a blind person. You know, if I think of my life before I started writing my goals down, before I started to live the life with goal setting, I remember my life like a blind man. I did not have any insight of how the future would be. And when you have no insight of how the future would be, you live in fear of uncertainty. You don't know what is going to happen. So you live in fear. And when you live in fear, fear and self-esteem always come together. Low self-esteem will increase your fear further, and that increase in fear decrease your self-esteem. They're inversely proportional. The more the fear, the lesser the self-esteem. The higher the self-esteem, the lesser the fear. And it all comes by goal setting. When you can see the future, when you know what are you going to accomplish, you have written your health, relationship, spirituality, career, finance goals. Everything has been written. Now you know what to do. You know what to accomplish. You know how to accomplish it.